Very bad doesn't sound good. Instead of very bad, say awful. Awful, it sounds good. Use awful instead of very bad.
Very smart doesn't sound good. Instead of very smart, say intelligent. Intelligent. It sounds good. Use intelligent instead of very smart. Very sad doesn't sound good. Instead of very sad, say sorrowful. Sorrowful. It sounds good. Use sorrowful instead of very sad. Very upset doesn't sound good. Instead of very upset, say distraught. Distraught. It sounds good. Use distraught instead of very upset. Very cold doesn't sound good. Instead of very cold, say freezing. Freezing. It sounds good. Use freezing instead of very cold. Very strong doesn't sound good. Instead of very strong, say forceful. Forceful. It sounds good. Use forceful instead of very strong. Very bright doesn't sound good. Instead of very bright, say luminous. Luminous. It sounds good. Use luminous instead of very bright.
Very busy doesn't sound good. Instead of very busy, say swamped. Swamped. It sounds good. Use swamped instead of very busy.
Very careful doesn't sound good. Instead of very careful, say cautious. Cautious. It sounds good. Use cautious instead of very careful. Very clear doesn't sound good. Instead of very clear, say obvious. Obvious. It sounds good. Use obvious instead of very clear.